Newt, who you think's gonna win, and who's your underdog?
Tough. I think I'm gonna put my money on Ursula to win, and maybe not so much an underdog, but still my underdog pick is going to be the stepmom from Cinderella.
Ooh. Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond, where it's the bullfrog and the one, the only, Newt.
Face reveal at 100,000 subscribers.
We would love to have the subscribers. Any channel would want that. And when it's revealed that you see that face, you can be amazed, because why? It's a face. Before we get more into this, if you're new to the pond, we are trying to find out who is the greatest Disney villain of them all. But this is not by a poll or opinion. We are doing this through a formula. And if you want the more details of the formula, go here. Basic overview we can get to is that it's two parts. This mathematical side, which this video is going to go through, and this essay side. That's going to be the second video. This is a whole lot in the mathematical side. And we're going into power. This is where things are going to get nutty. I'm telling you, nutty. Does Tremaine have power? And to that I say, oh yes. But not in the sense of power we give her credit for. When we see power, we can't help but think of politics, magical or physical, and also mind. How clever they are. That is sometimes varies. Tremaine is probably unique with her mind. She is very analytical. Because of the way how her face is designed, we can actually see her mind working. That's right, I actually timed her reactions and see how fast she's thinking. I did that. Because with all this craziness, you're going to go, Bullfrog, I think you're going insane. I go, you know what? I think you're right. But tell me, watch this movie. Watch it and tell me if can you see it as well? But I don't think I'm going insane because her face is too readable. It's obvious. And we see that with that big, most unique moment of her using her power. The first time when Cinderella does her attack, interrupting and shielding herself with the letter. And suddenly everyone's going, oh my gosh, it's going to be a ball. We have a chance to meet the prince. This is going to be good. And everyone is embracing it, going, this is awesome, this is awesome. And then Cinderella goes, I can go too. And Tremaine does something interesting. This is where I think we get more into, there's something more involved in that head of hers. She could have said, no. Can I go to the ball? No. In the stories, Tremaine or the stepmother always says no. But in Disney, they said,
if you get all your work done.
I think Tremaine enjoys the war. Tremaine actually has 2 moments of timing. Yes, she has 2 moments that you can time her with. The first one is her visually, and it takes 9 seconds for her to come up with the if. This is all estimated still, but it took 9 seconds for her to manipulate Cinderella to let Tremaine have this glory of playing with Cinderella. But if you listen to the music of that moment, and Cinderella is praising, saying, by royal command, every ageable maiden is to attend. Listen to the music, and it gets a little sinister. And if we judge Tremaine's mind using music, not visual, that is actually 5 seconds. To manipulate Cinderella and use Cinderella's use these words on her, to come up with that in 5 seconds and just use the most important piece, if. Her daughters are just, yeah, that's pretty clever, Mom, you're clever. And she goes, yeah, I'm right, clever. But at the same time, that's a big elaborate plan. And suddenly all of them just demanding on Cinderella, attack, 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 attack. To where her daughters are these willing pawns of their mom, but they use it to a heavy degree. That is amazing. And this is just one of the big levels, this is one of the most obvious levels of her mind and power. And the second big moment of Tremaine's mind and how it works and how she just attacks is Cinderella going, you said the word if, you didn't expect this to happen, or I have a dress, not just a dress, but my mother's dress. And it shows off that I am a woman, I am pink, I am white, I am here. I am going to woo everyone. I am not in it for the prince. I'm in it just to embrace my sex, my femininity. Tremaine sees that, and we get that O face. And Tremaine does the attack. And we went through this with the presents. How she made a compliment sound wrong. And she directs to the bead necklace. How long did that take for her to notice the bead necklace? With the ball gown, we see Cinderella for 5 seconds. And then Tremaine points out the necklace in 3 seconds. So here's the attack, 5 seconds. In 3 seconds, boom, she's pointing out the beads. That's pretty fast. And you'll know how your daughter will react. When before, her daughter says it's stupid. But then she knows her daughter is going to be very possessive because Cinderella has it. That was a very fast reaction. And if meant nothing, but yet she will have the best time of her life because she unleashes her daughters. And there is a sense of Bambi's villains in this moment. Because when her daughters get unleashed, pointing out the beads, and one sister attacks, and the other sister realizes, looking at the dress, that's my sash. How dare you? And they start unleashing. Look at the background. The background's coloring is getting more intense. Just like Bambi's hunters when they're first being put on screen, where man's presence is the most powerful and prominent. Right here, it's her daughters being not really pawns, but this is their natural reactions if Cinderella has something of theirs, even if they don't want it. Her daughters are unleashed on Cinderella. Her daughters broke Cinderella, and she just opened the door. She didn't do anything, but yet pointed it out. The pack of hyenas attack. And that's just another piece of her showing off her power and how her mind works and how we can time it. Next time we see this is the big moment of presence where she sees Cinderella was at the ball. Well, this is where I just went, oh my gosh. At the ball, no joke, that was 4.6 seconds. But if she probably had a little bit more time, she would probably notice it was Cinderella. Everything was blocked though. But when she sees Cinderella, when the revelation of the prince is there, she actually has to shut up her daughters for her to see Cinderella. Why say silence when you need to just look at her? I think it's just that she feels like, A, Cinderella rebelled against me. B, I don't want to lose the war. And C, the war must go on. And what I just stated with her mind, that takes 6 seconds. To process all of that and to come with the idea of locking Cinderella in her room. She wants to keep the war alive. She wants to fight and continue on. Tremaine loves the war. And you see it so well in her eyes at that moment when she's locking the door. Look at those eyes. That's where they're getting yellow. She doesn't want to let go. She wants the war to continue. Tremaine, Cinderella, this marriage between the two. And you think, okay, Bullfrog, you gotta admit that is over analytical, but at the same time thoughtful. We get to another piece of her power, and that is her avatar. Bear with me and think this through and tell me what you think. Tremaine has an avatar. Cinderella has an avatar. Who are these avatars? Lucifer and Bruno. They're animal avatars. They're familiars, if you will. But Cinderella has another outlook, and that is the mice. And throughout the movie, till the tower, the mice have been able to thwart Lucifer, the cat. And with that, you can see that the mice can taunt and get away with it, but at the same time, they fear the cat. The mice represent the kindness of Cinderella and what can lead to. That is who they are. But yet, the kindness of Cinderella can only go so much until the cat of Lady Tremaine, this piece of Lady Tremaine, notice this, and attack. And when the cat can be thwarted by the mice, but the cat can mess up Cinderella constantly. We see it most prominently in the song Nightingale. At the end of it, Cinderella's in this dream state singing the song better than her stepsisters, but it's ruined by Lucifer by ruining everything. Everything she cleaned up, she has to do again. And it shows Cinderella is different than every other Disney princess. She's the first princess to show emotions that's not just happy and sadness. She showed anger. She actually got a broom that was ready to whack the cat. This was a princess willing to go into violence. And this is in classical age Disney. She would want to go with violence against a cat. This cat that is an avatar of Tremaine. And when the mice have the key going, hey, we're going to save you, the avatar comes and locks the key with no way out. The key is forever locked, and Cinderella had no chance. But she pointed out the dog, Bruno. And this is why Cinderella's Bruno is her avatar. When she sings the song, a dream is a wish your heart makes and you want it to come true. But yet at the same time, she has this beautiful song. But yet, when she talks to Bruno, she finds out what Bruno dreams of. Killing the cat. And what does she say? That's bad. Wait, you said a dream is a good thing, but yet to the dog, it's a bad thing. Why? The dog is an avatar of this darker side of Cinderella, and that is to lash out. She wants to so much stand up for herself. But her talking to the dog is her talking to that violent side of her. Here, let her say it.
So if you don't want to lose a nice warm bed, you better get rid of those dreams. Know how? Just learn to like cats.
Right there, plain as day. It's her talking to herself. This is why she stays in the house. It's a place where she can be safe-ish. She has shelter, she has bed, she has a room. But at the same time, there's nothing really good there. She tries to find a way saying, hey, there's good things about the cat, but there's nothing. There's something good about my stepmom, but I can't find nothing.
Well, sometimes he... There must be something good about him.
That's the point. Further showing that the cat is more an avatar for Tremaine, and how the dog is the avatar for Cinderella. I want to lash out, but I can't. But what saves her is the violence. Because no one came up with the idea of the dog. No one did. It wasn't the mice. It wasn't the birds. The cat was able to trump them all. Cinderella had to acknowledge she had to embrace the violence. Because if not, the violence, she would be forever trapped. Because her color is blue. More than anything, it's blue. This sense of masculinity that her mother puts her, stepmother keeps her in, but also wants her to subjugate. This sense of violence where she actually goes, it's bad. But now she's going, face it, I need to be violent. I need to embrace what my stepmother put me through and made me. Let the beast out. Let the dog loose. Let the dog kill the cat. The war between Cinderella and Tremaine through their avatars happens there. This marriage of Tremaine and Lucifer, Cinderella and Bruno. We see the war end there violently. But then it comes the second war, the war of femininity. And that is through the words. The actions, we see who won. But now it's through the words, which we get with the glass slipper. And that is more into the realms of acts of villainy. Whew. And this is just power. Tremaine's power is something to behold, but yet she is so limited in her way. Her mind is quick, she's precise, she's amazing. And when she has her limitations, she uses them to the max. It's amazing. But at the same time, it's not, I think, enough. And which I think is a real bummer. She has the potential. She can be unleashed. If she had control of a kingdom, oh no. Really, oh no. She would be unstoppable. But with the small resources she has, and wanting to keep the war alive between Cinderella, it puts her to a fault because her love of the war thwarts her at the same time. If she could just say no. But the no led to the defeat of Cinderella to the point of almost breaking. So I think that if it puts her in a unique spot, it led to the destruction of Cinderella, but Cinderella, so low it summons the fairy godmother. Tremaine's greatest moment. But again, the glass slipper, which we'll get into more in the acts of villainy. We're just talking about power. Her realms of power, if she had more, it would put her high. But yet, I can't help but marvel of her limitation. With being so limited, she could still do so much more damage. I want to say a 3, but Newt, I want your intake on this. Is it a 3 or 4?
From what I'm hearing, I'd give it a 3.
Tremaine put us in such a unique position. I want to say 4, but yet I can't help but say a 3. So her power is a 3. But it's so deep. You can't help but go, dang, Tremaine. If we want to go into which Disney villains are more philosophical, I would say you would be really up there. But it's not to be. And that's her. So her power is a 3. Whew. I'm talking a lot, people, please. And now we get to henchmen, which is probably going to be the lightest bit of this whole mathematical side. Because her henchmen are her daughters. Pawns who are very much don't know it. Anastasia and Drizella. I think that's how you say the second one's name. They're idiots. Sharp as a bowling ball and as thick, well, actually thicker than a castle wall. Maybe thick as the Hoover Dam. Damn! They're morons. They're idiots. They try their best. They are loyal to their mother. But yet, they are willing to not really stand up, but talk back to her from the point that mom has to say silence. But her goal is to have one of her daughters marry the prince. So it's a good relationship, I'd say, though spoiled rotten isn't good. We all know what happened with Game of Thrones there. Joffrey. But with these two, they're not on the levels of Joffrey, thank goodness, but it's still, you just don't like them. Because of their designs, they're a lot more cartoony how they are. They're cartoony with their movements and expressions, and it's like we don't care about them. And the way how they are, it's like you can see Tremaine, actually there's some beauty there. May look at me silly, I don't care. Tremaine is quite a looker, in a way. But her daughter's got none of her looks, none of her wits. And they probably don't even realize they can be manipulated by their own mother to attack. And with them as henchmen not knowing it, I think that's not in their favor. When a henchman doesn't know they are a henchman, I can't help but go, it hurts because it can change the game against the villain. But these two didn't change the game, but they never had a chance to really be a part of the game. Their attacks, when they're demanded, well, through manipulation, but still, they have that rage in them. They did that to Cinderella, not Tremaine. Tremaine just opened the door. They didn't walk out. They came out like tigers, just tearing her apart. So, and they're loyal to their mom. I think as henchmen, I would give them a 2. Wow, this was so much. And this is just the mathematical side. It may be a while, but part 2 is gonna get nuttier, because it is the acts of villainy. And until that video, it's the bullfrog and the newt going, whew, wow. And with our classic, 3, 2, 1. See you later.